So the study that Alex's Army is funding is called the REST study, and we're just writing up our results for publication right now, so it's very timely that I come to give you an update. So the idea, and what we've seen, is that with conventional chemotherapy, we've only gone so far in curing childhood cancer, and we've reached a plateau, and that just shows that there's only so much we could do with the old chemotherapy drugs. So what that tells us is that we have to think outside the box, and we can't just go with the old standards. We have to think of novel ways to attack the cancer cells. And one of the exciting areas has been immunotherapy, so using the immune system to fight cancer. And a lot of success has been seen with leukemia. You might have heard in the news that there's this type of therapy called CAR T-cell therapy, and this was FDA approved last year. And there are a lot of promising results with leukemias, but we haven't seen the same results with solid tumors like Wilms tumor and rhabdomyosarcoma and neuroblastoma. And so at Children's National, a few years ago, we recruited a scientist to help us develop novel cell therapies, immune therapy to fight solid tumors. And that's where the REST study came in. And this is a new idea. No one else has done it before. That's why it's really great to have the funding, the support to get it going. And the idea behind the study is that we take cells from patients, and it's just a blood draw, so pretty simple. We draw blood, and then the lab grows the cells in the presence of proteins that the tumors express. So the idea is to train the cells to recognize the cancer, and then we grow up the cells, and the cells learn how to fight the cancer. So these are T cells, they're immune cells. So it takes about 6 weeks to grow the cells. So a patient comes in, we draw the blood, grow the cells, and then train them to do their thing. We test them in the lab to make sure that they're actually fighting the cancer cells, and then we give them back to the patient. So, and we give them back in up to 8 doses, so a little bit at a time. And so it's a big process. This is when you think about personalized medicine, this is really the epitome of personalized medicine, because we're taking the patient's own cells and then growing them up and training them to fight the cancer. And so far we've had 18 patients enroll on the study, and 15 of those have received cells. One of them just got her cells, and that's another patient with Wilms tumor, and we're waiting to see the results. One patient unfortunately had disease that grew, and the patient passed before we were able to give the cells back. And another patient just didn't have enough. They had so much chemotherapy that we weren't able to isolate the cells. So there was only one patient where the whole process wasn't successful. But 15 patients received the cells, and all of these patients had cancer that had come back multiple times and was very resistant to the classic chemotherapy drugs. And what we're going to report is that 6 of those 15 patients are doing well without evidence of tumor.
Wow.
So that's really, so we're very excited. This is the study is part of this early phase study called a phase 1 study. So, and 15 patients isn't that much. So now our goal is to expand this and be able to treat more patients and combine this therapy with other types of therapy that activate the immune system, so we can make the therapy even more successful and more effective than it's been. But so far it does look very promising. We have a lot more work to do, but the work and the support of Alex's Army really made this possible. It would not have been possible to do without the support. It costs about $40,000 to $50,000 for each patient to make the cells, and because there's labor involved and materials and testing, and it's all free for the patients because it's part of the clinical trial. So it's really this funding that helps support that. So anyway, thank you so much, and thanks for your support, and I hope to come back next year and give you even a better update. So we hope the results continue to be promising. So
Thank you, Dr.
thanks.
So we do have a check for you in the amount of
Wonderful.
So you guys, we would like to take a big group picture with all of you up
The big
here
check.
with our big